Hey, hey, everybody.
Jordan apparently found an interesting little exploit. You want
Yes.
to tell you
Now,
want to tell the people?
okay, I will go ahead and do it. Let me go back to the main menu. But on the first three dungeons, there is actually an exploit that allows you to farm golden hands.
That and for those that know this game and
hmm
and how much golden
Essentially, it
hands are valued,
raises your chance of encounter on select floors to about 90%.
and that's pretty significant. Jordan
So,
found a shiny
yeah,
hunting exploit.
this is used in speedrunning. They don't really talk about how it works, and it changes with the menu sometimes. So, like, okay, one, two, three, four, five, six. That one. Okay, the big star you just saw fall on the right side towards the bottom of the screen. Whenever you see the bigger star halfway looping the bottom of the screen and transition to come out, if you select and restart the save file on that star, you have about 90% chance of getting a golden hand encounter.
So it's just rinse and repeat on that front.
Pretty much. So you just do it, use a go home, hop out of the dungeon, go back, rinse, repeat until you have what you need.
Yeah, until you somehow get up to level 99 with it, or level like it just sounds like a good way of getting busted later on.
Yeah, like that's how I have 180,000 yen right now.
Yeah, which
uh,
is probably like 1,600, 1,700. Let me check
yeah,
because the yen's gone down in value over the years. So it's like 100 yen is. Let me check that. Yen to U. Yeah, it's like 0.0073. So uh, so let's see. So 180,000 is about 1,300 USD. So yeah, that's it's still good money. Having $1,300 as a high schooler means you're pretty set
oh
for a
yeah,
little while. Lord knows if I had $1,300 casually as a teenager, I'd be getting games left and right.
yeah. So the rain's moving in. That's why I really wanted to do the episode here. That way we can go ahead and get Rise out of her dungeon, and I can farm the social links after this.
Yeah,
If we have time, I'd like to do Yosuke's social link, but I think it's probably going to take at least an hour for us to get through the dungeon.
yeah, because Risei's dungeon has some interesting little gimmicks to it. I think there was one bit in the dungeon where you get warped around in a floor,
Mm,
uh, and you got to figure out which way you got to warp.
yeah. So I don't remember that. It's been years since I've played P4, but I do remember I always enjoyed her dungeon because it has my favorite boss, which is Shadow Teddy.
Yeah,
So let's get to the dungeon. Uh, Nothing I can do because it's raining.
right.
But yeah, so this will be pretty quick, hopefully. Junes.
Yeah, because now that you're what level are you at? Let's take a look at your levels. I want to see your levels.
I haven't ground too much, but I'm at 36, 35, 34, 28, 34. So I started the exploit around probably level 28.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so if I was about, let's say, level 28, 29 when I left the last dungeon, I've gained almost 10 levels
Yeah.
in like a day or
So,
two.
and I think Risei's dungeon has you being at like high 20s, low 30s in terms of levels.
Yeah, so I can probably auto some of these battles.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, actually you don't know. This even though this is Persona, this is still part of SMT, and
Yeah,
you know what happens when you try
Persona
to turn
is
your
the easier SMT,
but
but
you know what happens
it's
when an
still
enemy
SMT.
can get the drop on you,
Oh,
Jordan.
definitely.
You know
So
what
let's try
happens there.
not to let that happen. Okay,
No.
I think I was also doing the Mary quests. Oh, hey, cool. We got a poem in here. You know
Murder's
what
so
that
cool.
means? Yeah, I started hers during the grind because I haven't started it yet.
Rest in peace to the Japanese VA for Igor.
Mm-hmm.
No, don't read my cringe HBO poem.
I mean, some of it really is cringe. I'm looking
Yeah,
forward to it.
yeah. Not to men. Not to mention, I mentioned HBO because of that stupid HBO Max thing that happened. Did you hear
Yeah.
about that?
No, I
God.
have HBO Max. I'm thinking of canceling. They got rid
Yeah,
of almost everything I want to watch.
yeah. Cancel your fucking HBO Max thing. Show them
Yeah,
that they
like we're
fucked
probably
up.
just gonna watch House of the Dragon, and then once that's done, I'm gonna just peel off. Well, that and Primal season 2. Once I watch those, probably just gonna exit.
Yeah, because HBO Max did a bit of a fucky wucky situation.
I mean, it's not even HBO Max. It's freaking Discovery.
Yeah, for those that don't know, Discovery slash HBO Max axed a lot of animated shows off of its platform that a lot of people really enjoyed, and apparently they did this without any level of warning whatsoever.
Yeah, like I knew the merger was happening because I owned a lot of AT&T stock, and they were separating, and then there was going to be the Warner buyout. But like what they did with the buyouts, that now getting rid of freaking Sesame Street, of all things, like a lot of those
Yeah,
episodes shows because they don't want to pay residuals to the creators and shit. Like that's just fucking shitty. Is what that is.
yeah, yeah. But I
Alright.
think the Sesame Street stuff is becoming available on its YouTube, if
Yeah,
I remember right.
still shitty though.
Still, yeah, it's still a terrible move,
Yeah.
and and the CEO deserves like to fucking lose their job after that,
Mm-hmm.
frankly, because that is so transparently awful.
Yeah.
Like no pretenses, no warnings, not even to the creators of the show that talked about this on Twitter. Poor animation industry has just been getting shafted a lot.
Yeah. So okay, Neko Shogun is what I've been trying to make. I thought on the 8th I would have four-way fusion unlocked, but
Guess
I
not yet.
don't have it yet. So I actually have some really kind of weak and stupid personas to use because they're all meant to be fodder.
Yeah, yeah, the whole fusing of old personas or making old personas and then using those as fusion fodder. I know that vibe.
Yeah. Well, especially for her requests, because you have to make them a certain way in order to get the result you want.
Yeah, I remember trying to manipulate RNG for the twins in 5 by getting that stuff done, and that was, oh man, that was annoying. But it's a worth it reward in the end. It really is.
I love Yukiko. She's like, we are not like that.
No. Never change, Teddy.
Yeah, you sweet cinnamon roll who will become very, very annoying to the party later.
Yeah. Oh no, he knows what. Okay, he knows what it is. Okay, he knows what it is. He's just being. He's being punny. He's trying to be punny.
Yep. Alright. Alright, let's do
So
this. So, who do I want to take in?
I
Probably
also
gonna do
remember
Yosuke.
the music in this dungeon being really good.
Oh, yeah. Most of the music in this game is good.
Yeah, even like I'm not even that much of a fan of poppy stuff, and I like the music in this game.
Oh, shit, I forgot to buy recovery items. It won't matter, probably.
Yeah, I mean at the very least, if you, how many Gohoms do you have?
I've got like 12.
Okay,
And
yeah,
I
if you
already made some crack wheat so I can open any chests I want.
yeah, so if you end up hurting for health, you can always use one of those, because if you use a Gohom on a floor, you can always return to that floor when you
Yeah.
return to the dungeon. So that's a plus.
Yeah, so let's get through here. Okay, I don't know any weaknesses right now, so let's see what skills I have. Alright, those two resist.
Yeah, I
Skill.
think those things are
Garu.
weak to. I think those DNA looking things are weak to ice, but I could be wrong.
Well, either way, once we know what all the weaknesses are, we can...
Nope.
Mazio.
Interesting.
Let's see. Because that's the main 4 elements I got.
Okay,
So
yeah.
there we go.
Okay, it was lightning. I was like, I know they're weak to some kind of elemental thing.
Yeah, everything has a weakness. I just have to remember what those weaknesses
Well,
are, and
well, some are more resistant than others. Actually, the weakness thing is not like,
yeah,
you know.
it's not 100%. But yeah, so the exploit I showed you only works on floors that have a set layout. You can't do it on the randomly generated floors.
Ah, that's good to know.
Yeah, so if you ever wanted to try it yourself, like you did another playthrough, that'll only help you on the floors that have set layouts. So usually the ones right before the boss or mini boss.
All right, that's good to know. Actually,
Usually floor 7.
okay. Because like a lot of the a lot of the a lot of the issues that a lot of people have with RPGs is the fact that the combat is not their thing, which I feel so sorry for. I feel bad for those people.
Yeah.
I really do, because it's like they're like a lot of the ones that are super good about it miss out on really great stories and characters, but the combat just doesn't do it for them.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
Like, it's that adage that I've talked about, or that others have talked about, where it's like the starter pack of, oh, I don't like JRPGs except for these situation, which is like Paper Mario, Thousand Year Door, Chrono Trigger, like all these ones that have a combat system that's a lot more involved, I guess, is the way I could put it.
Yeah.
And then Persona 5 recently being added onto that, but I would say the reason why Persona would be a more accessible JRPG for people that aren't into the JRPG combat is due to the weakness system, or how being more active in the characters' relationships affects the gameplay and makes it go by faster.
Yeah.
If you're able to do it right. So I guess discovering an exploit like the Golden Hand thing is really, really useful.
Oh yeah.
I think those are weak to wind.
Probably.
I think. Don't trust me on too much.
We'll
on
find
this.
out. Nope.
No. It's been a while since I played this too, so I don't remember all the enemy weaknesses off the top of my head.
He wasn't weak to any of it, but
But that doesn't really matter. You're at level 36.
yeah, I can still one turn him.
Yeah, you can basically one turn a whole lot of things at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the club music in this game. Like,
Yeah, it's
we got
really nice.
some, like, bathhouse club music with Kanji, now we're getting, like, dance club music with Arise. I'm just like, man, if you can't bob your head to this game, I don't know what's wrong with you.
Yeah. Although, admittedly, between the soundtracks of 3, 4, and 5,
Three's
and I
the
wouldn't
best.
know... 3
Three's the best.
3's kind of is really good.
Oh, God, yeah, I'm really excited for the re-release, even if it is portable.
Yeah.
Okay, so what worked on these guys? Let's see. Okay, didn't.
I mean, they're a cloud, so one would think that'd be...
They absorb
Oh,
fire.
hello.
So they are not flammable gas. Wind does not work. There we go, gonna get a crit.
Okay, so it's... No, that's when you just discovered its weakness. It's ice.
Ah, okay.
Like, if it's physical and you get get that little flash, then that's a critical. But if you get that with a magic, then it's like, okay, that's the weakness.
Yeah. Okay, there's the stairs. Let's see what's on over here.
But yeah, like, it's cool to have 3, 4, and 5 be able to be playable on more platforms than just PlayStation, especially
Yeah.
with Persona 3 Portable being stuck to PSP.
Yeah, especially
Like-
if, like, we would want P3 FES, you know, at least we're
It's
getting
something.
something. Yeah.
It's something. But of course, a lot of people are kind of miffed about Personas 1 and 2 being shafted, and it's like, I get it, they aren't the popular entries, but
Yeah. But
Go
if
all in at
those
the very
three
least.
like do well, guess what? They might remaster or do something with the first two.
possibly. I'm just of the mind that Atlas and a lot of other game devs with their backwards compatibility is just not doing hot.
Oh yeah, no.
They tend to not really they tend to be a bit tone deaf about what people really want in terms of retro games that they should have.
Definitely.
Like, Lord knows there's also a lot of games stuck on the PS3 PlayStation Store that aren't available on the other platforms, like Digital Devil Saga, if we want to keep it to SMT stuff.
God, yes, I would love for Digital Devil to be ported over.
Yeah, and I think recently now we've got the Soul Hackers game. Go, 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 go!
Got you.
But yeah, the Soul Hackers game. And then there's
Yeah, Soul Hackers is stuck on the DS right now.
there's also Tactics Ogre, that remake, or remaster, I guess. That was a real shocker, because, like, how many people remember I only know about Tactics Ogre when I was looking up strategy RPG alternatives compared to Fire Emblem, and I hear about Tactics Ogre, and I was like, huh. And then I discovered, when I was in Texas visiting you guys, I was at a Player One, and I found a Tactics Ogre game for the Game Boy Advance.
Nice.
And I've been hammering my way through that, and I think I'm on the final level. And the kindest thing that I can say about a lot of Atlas's games when it comes to their stuff is that their gameplay and music ideas are top notch. Like, they're really good, but their stories tend to be a bit obtuse and a bit the kindest way I can put this. Stories are a little obtuse and not really relevant or something like that. I don't know how to put it, but it's like with SMT5. It's like, yeah, we're enjoying the gameplay and the music's really good, but the story's kind of not really doing it. Yeah, it's eh.
It's just kind of eh.
So, I don't know. That tends to be the trend with a lot of Atlas games, with like a few exceptions.
Yeah, like I'm already hearing kind of so-so things about the next Soul Hackers game, but I'm still excited for it.
Yeah, and like some of the more standout Atlas entries that I can think of in regards to story. I know Radiant Historia. I know that game's story is pretty good. The only thing is that Radiant Historia, the Perfect Chronology one at least, is still stuck on the 3DS.
Yeah.
And knowing the way that game sold, it's not going to get ported to the Switch, at least not anytime soon, which is a shame because that game is really good.
Yeah. There we go.
Because it's like the sales are what speak to a company in regards to interest in a franchise. I mean, look at what happened with Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
But a lot of people can see that as a double-edged sword, myself included. Where it's, you got this game, like you have a storied franchise that you brought over to the West, and slowly that series began to peter out in terms of sales and interest. So you're like, okay, we're going to do this entry. Then one entry fucking explodes because you actually bothered to advertise it.
Yep.
And then it sells better than hotcakes, and you're like, oh, people want this kind of the game from it. But then that in turn leads to a very, kindest way to put this, a very, like, templated version of it, I suppose. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah, it does.
Like, it
you
feels
now
like every
have a
every
formula
game
you're trying to recreate to keep that success going.
I guess so. Yeah, because after Awakening happened and was able to sell a whole lot, Fire Emblem Fates came out, and I mean, let me put it like this: the reputation started off okay for that game, but then it got really bad as it went on. Like the retrospective shit that went down with that game is like not good. Because Fates isn't a very good Fire Emblem game at all. Like,
yeah,
like its gameplay stuff is like, yeah, it's a fine game because it's not broken gameplay wise. It's just its story and characterization stuff is just
Yeah.
And then when you dig into some of the shit that is with the mechanics, like the support system, oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that's problematic. Uh, but then Fire Emblem Echoes came out, and they had this cool thing happen with it, and a lot of people say that's probably the best modern Fire Emblem game that is out at this time. But
Yeah.
it didn't sell well, so now it's relegated to the 3DS, and now Nintendo are likely to not want to make any more of those Echo-style remake of the older Fire Emblem games, because Awakening kind of became the popular template, and when that template is messed with, eh.
Yeah.
But Three Houses came out, and Three Houses did well enough, and it had some pretty interesting themes and a pretty decent story.
Mm-hmm.
The only complaint that I would say I'd have about Three Houses, and I don't know if you'll feel the same way about this if you ever get to play it, Jordan, but I feel like Three Houses is a little mechanically overloaded.
Okay. I thought, if anything, they simplified it from what I've seen.
Well, they bring back some stuff, like the weapon durability thing is back, and you can repair the weapons that break, which is good. But what I mean by mechanically overloaded is that... So you know the classic Fire Emblem formula of move enemy to... Move ally next to enemy,
ally
hit
to
attack.
enemy, attack, yeah.
Well, they add in combat arts, which are like these special attacks you can do that can change up how much damage you do or be able to affect the enemy a certain way. There's keeping in mind on the support system of like what allies are next to each other so that they can support each other with their stats or things along those lines. But then you have this battalion system, which, you know, is fine. It functions, but I just feel like there are a lot of mechanics in Three Houses that make it a bit different as a Fire Emblem game goes compared to what it was. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, I'm just saying that that's what I've observed, that's my opinion on it. Like, kind of miss the good old days when it was just a simple, keep the triangle system in mind and move next to enemy and attack.
Yeah.
And maybe keep in mind where your allies are next to each other so that they can support each other. That's... I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
Fair enough.
But we know that is Rise. I
Yes, this is Rise.
think this is like the first time we've shown her on a video, so... Well, kind of her. This is her shadow.
I think we caught a glimpse of her, like, on the TV.
Yeah,
But
she's like
this is the first time we've been to her dungeon on a video, at least.
Yeah. Risei's a former, well, I guess kind of former idol that's that's come to Inaba to be like, I want to be away from the spotlight for a while. I'm taking a hiatus from music. Because, you know, the idol industry in Japan is absolutely, you know, cutthroat.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to think, like, what are some of the things that idol industry... I know there were some... Okay, there's a lot of exploitation of the idols, and essentially the idols are kind of controlled in a lot of what they do in their daily life, so it would make sense that Risei is like, I want to go to hiatus mode, please. Because, like, it's effective to the degree that idols, like, can't have personal relationships in any regard that aren't,
Yeah. Because
like,
if it
known...
messes with their contract or their fan base, then, you know, that could ruin their career, having a relationship that's not planned, probably with another idol.
Yeah. Yeah.
The shadows are really getting aggravated. What we just saw is what that Risei girl is suppressed. She'll be in trouble.
Because let's just face it, rabid fan bases are always going to be a thing, but in the idol industry, when they're trying to encourage the rabidness,
Yeah.
since that is what prints the money for them,
Mm-hmm.
that does not do any favors, and the idols end up catching the brunt of a lot of it with stalkers or
Yeah.
nowadays online stuff. Like, I recently wrapped up Yakuza 5, and one of the playable characters is an idol, or an up-and-coming idol, and you see parts of the industry that get addressed, like executives abusing their power to essentially Dan Schneider their way around with the talent, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you say Dan Schneider. We all know where that's going.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And then there's the matter of like, oh, you have to be careful of online doxing since the internet was existing in Yakuza 5.
Yep.
Because so far you've played 0, and the internet didn't exist in 0.
This is true. That happened in the 80s.
So there was that. There's keeping track of the diet, keeping track of their routines. And then there's the matter of whether or not the idols are still in high school or not, which is itself a can of worms, because I could not imagine being an idol. Like, being in show business while in school sounds like an awful idea.
Yeah, no, it'd be pretty horrible.
Because you're not just having to deal with, you know, all of the drama and awful people that you probably have to deal with in a film set. You're also dealing with all the dramas in school, because school itself is also an environment that has a lot of horse shit happen.
Yeah, high school sucks, but it's never over. High school never ends.
Yeah. So basically, it's understandable why Rise would be like, I want to step away, please.
Yeah, I'd like to work for a tofu shop for a bit.
Yeah.
It's like, we don't blame you, girl. We really don't.
Yeah. We no blame game here about wanting to just have a simple part-time work situation. Live in a remote countryside area after dealing with a bunch of city bullshit.
Damn, I pulled disinfective way too much. Okay.
That's not a very good accessory.
It just essentially makes you not get poisoned, but it offers like no other benefits.
Mm.
I'm tired of diets. Yeah, she's like, I'm tired of the freaking lifestyle to be a freaking idol.
Yeah, I
yeah.
could not imagine. Like, there's no way I would ever want to, because I like having really good food too much.
Same.
And if I have to stick to a rigorous diet to keep a figure up, no.
Let's
no,
see,
I like having really good and possibly fattening food too much. I like good Chinese food, Indian food, Euro, for God's sakes. I like all this stuff too much. I'm just like, no.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, what else I got?
Because, I mean, that's also a thing with a lot of the film industry here in the West, where, you know, for actors to keep up appearances, they have to have a rigorous workout regimen and can only eat to a certain degree to keep up their six-pack abs appearances.
Yeah. All right, let's just run to the bid boss.
Which is like, you know, it sucks for them. Because I
yeah.
remember when, what was the name of that actor? He was in Baywatch with The Rock.
Oof, I don't know offhand.
But that actor had appeared in, like, one movie where he wasn't, like, super ripped, six-pack, chiseled abs situation. A lot of people were making fun of him by saying he's got a dad bod. But somebody on Twitter pointed out, like, no, it's not unhealthy to have that. Because that's just a healthy person that has some musculature to them.
Yeah.
You know, like, some people think, like, oh, you got, like, to have the fitness level of like, The Rock or some of these other actors, like, that's a healthy-looking body.
But
no,
it's not. You know how many of them are on juice?
Yeah. Not to mention also how many of them are starving themselves and dehydrating themselves, because...
Like, they have the best trainers in the industry they can afford. They have access to, you know, supplements and drugs. You legally probably don't.
Well,
there's a reason they can
just
keep their body
situation.
looking like that.
I'm not saying this as a drug situation. I'm saying this as more like... What was that? Zac Efron. I thought it was him. Yeah, Zac Efron in Baywatch. He was in another movie recently where he didn't have to have, like, the chiseled abs, which, by the way, for the chiseled ab look to work, you have to dehydrate yourself a whole lot.
Yeah, that's usually the thing. That or you have to keep your body fat, like, below 15%.
Yeah. and somebody pointed out like, oh, I got to work on the set of that Baywatch movie, and every time the director would cut, Zac Efron would essentially drop to do push-ups in order to keep up his look.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not like, it's aesthetically pleasing, you know, but
Yes.
that's really all it's good for, is to be aesthetically pleasing, because it doesn't even count for strength points, because yeah, some of these guys can probably lift a lot of weight, but
Yeah.
strong
Look at a
strong
strong
men,
man, and they are thick.
yeah, they're thick. They don't have that chiseled look to them because they stay hydrated.
Not
you
only
know,
do they stay hydrated, but they need to stay in a calorie overload to make sure that
Yes.
they're able to repair their muscles efficiently.
Exactly. So, basically, showbiz is a really, really cutthroat and mentally deteriorating. Well, it's an industry that can deteriorate a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
Like, it is not for the faint of heart to go into. It's not a good idea for, like, the classic 40s adage of farm girl from Montana wants to be in the movies.
No.
Like,
What? Okay, that's new. Usually you can use items on those
Well,
hands,
that's
and
'cause
they have
those-
no resistances.
those hands are weak, or I guess some of the hands are resistant to certain elements.
Now, I guess as you get into deeper dungeons, they will be. I'll say for the first 2 dungeons, that's not the case.
Yeah.
Make sure. Medium physical damage to 1. Kill rush.
I
light
prefer this
3.
battle theme so much more to,
You see, I
Reach
prefer
Out
the
to the
original. I prefer Reach Out to the Truth. But this isn't a bad one, no doubt.
No.
That was cool, Yosuke.
What does that veneration thing do?
Essentially, it just makes them, like, really tired. They won't do... Like, they won't move. It's essentially skip a turn.
Oh, gotcha. But yeah, the show business industry, I look at that and I'm just like, no. Especially considering a lot of the actors and people in that industry that aren't in it anymore come out and show what it's like in reality. Like the Jeanette McCurdy book,
Yeah. Ooh.
like hearing about her experiences when working with Nickelodeon was a fucking something, man. It like
Mhm.
I haven't bought the book yet, but I plan to, because I respect Jeanette McCurdy a lot. I
Yeah.
remember watching iCarly a lot, and I didn't know that. I didn't know about the whole behind the scenes stuff until way later. But now that I know about it, I'm really interested in reading that book.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's honestly horrible from what I've heard.
Yeah, I hear that her mom essentially forced her into all of this, you know? Like, she
Yeah.
didn't want to be an actress, but her mom just forced her into this whole thing, and talked about how apparently the Victorious cast, which is another show I watched when I was a kid, apparently they were either hungover or drinking all the time,
Mm.
which was really interesting to learn.
Yeah.
Go get 'em! Damn it! Who do they think they are?
There you go, you got both of them.
Yep. Ooh, look at that XP. Look at that money. Looks so nice. Looks so
good.
nice.
That's so good. Golden, much like the metal slimes in Dragon Quest, you know, every JRPG at least has one of those. The enemies that just shitloads of experience when you beat them.
Yeah.
Because let's see, there were the metal slimes in that, the golden hands in this. In Octopath Traveler, I remember seeing the equivalent enemy in that being these cats that have these big jewelry bags with them.
Mm-hmm.
Those were
What do I have Yosuke
pretty big
with?
experience.
Mage's Mark. Mr. So that might be Parasuki, Mage's Mark.
So it's good to at least have known that exploit exists.
Oh, yeah. Gust Pen, reduce... Okay, I'm not worried about that then. Keep them on Mage's Mark.
Yeah.
a little more helpful to have him as my like backup healer. If I don't have items. I'm glad they give you a really good mage at the start of this.
Yeah, they do. Because they give you some in 5. You kind of start on the more melee side of things, and then you get like 2 healers to start out with.
Yeah.
Like one's good at full party healing, the other's good at single target healing.
Hmm.
So that's something. So it's interesting to see the kind of dynamic you start out with. And in Dragon Quest XI, you start with you actually don't start off with any party members that can heal unless you level up the hero a lot before a certain point. Well, not a lot. I don't know. Point is, I like seeing the archetype characters come up about it. It's fun.
Okay, that's a cool looking shadow.
Oh yeah, I love that. Again, SMT's design stuff too. Like their gameplay, their music, and their character and enemy designs are the things
notch.
they are so good at that shit.
Top notch, yeah.
So good. And when I said earlier about the story, their stories more often than not being kind of I should say Persona and Radiant Historia, those do not fit into that mold.
True. They're usually a bit better about it. And part of it is, you know, Persona focuses on being a bit more of like a visual novel-esque story, so it has more time to do it well.
Yes.
Where the other games really focus on the gameplay aspect, and they don't really give themselves enough time to focus on story.
Yeah. Kind of more of a... It's kind of like a D&D 5e versus Pathfinder / 3.5 situation. Where it's like, some people like 5th edition for it being more focused on the roleplay and story aspects while simplifying the gameplay to some extent.
Yeah.
And then you've got the people that prefer 3.5 or Pathfinder because those are a lot more mechanics heavy.
Yes. Or me, who still likes AD&D 2nd edition.
Did you hear about the 1 D&D thing that was recently announced?
Yeah, I've heard about it. I haven't really looked into it, but I'm hearing mixed things already.
Yeah, the big things that I remember hearing from my DM when I was in my Pathfinder group earlier was they make natural ones essentially automatic failures for any check.
Ugh.
Which is not a thing that I agree with, I should say.
Yeah.
Because at the very least, if you get a natural 1, that ought to at least add into your skill ranks and everything, so that way, you know, yeah, you're not going to get as much, but it's not an outright failure.
Yeah, pretty much.
Whereas natural 20s on any skill check is also an automatic success. That kind of turns nat 1s and 20s into the smash ball situation.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, not really anything about like, oh, you rolled a nat 1, but you have a total of 11, so you didn't get a lot of info from the X bartender from Y tavern, but you did at least hear about a thing. It's more general.
Yeah.
Whereas in this D&D 1 situation, it's like, oh, you got a nat 1? Yeah, you don't learn shit.
But I mean, that is closer to the old system, and I'm okay with it. It's just, I see where that could be alienating to people who like essentially getting the bonus add-on.
Yeah. I don't know. There's just some things about D&D 1 that I'm keeping an eye on, but I know for certain my Pathfinder group is not going to want to play it because they do not like 5th edition because of the simplification stuff, and part of it might just be the elitism thing about liking the more mathematics and mechanics stuff, a lot of the details in those things, but I'm open to 5th edition.
Yeah.
I mean, Critical Role does 5th edition. A lot of modern D&D stuff does 5th edition. You know, like, I'd be interested in giving 5th edition a go. It's just a matter of finding a campaign.
Yeah, a group that wants to use 5th edition.
Yeah.
That's
And
one at the right time.
and my group's a little old school, so they're probably not going to do it.
Probably not.
Do you ever have any characters in mind that you would want to use for a 5th edition campaign? Like something that just pops up in your head occasionally, thinking like, oh, I think this would be a cool character idea.
A dwarf artificer's something I'd like to play, but like offhand now I don't have just like an immediate. Oh man, I really want to play that. You know?
Yeah, I had this idea recently of a dragonborn barbarian.
That could be
Like
fun.
a red dragonborn barbarian that I'd essentially play kind of like Hellboy. I that idea just came up in my head, and I was like, oh, I want to try that. That sounds like it'd be fun. And then there's a half-orc rogue that I'd like to play, and a human warlock I'd like to play. And I think the closest that I'd get to likely trying all of those out is Baldur's Gate 3, whenever that gets out of early access.
Yeah.
Although I hear actually that the game's in a pretty playable state right now in its early access form. They actually recently added gnomes and bards into the game.
Ooh, that's kind of cool.
I don't know.
See what I'm saying about golden hand spawns?
You found another one?
Yup. Screw it, just gonna rush through. See what happens.
Trying to see what we've got here for the character creation stuff, because you can go with a set character that Baldur's Gate 3 went with, but I'm trying to see what the greater details are.
Yeah.
So they have all the background stuff, yes. Okay, races guide. So they have dwarf, elf, halfling, human, Githyanki, half-elf, tiefling, drow, gnome. Okay, so that's all they've got so far. So a lot of people are kind of keeping an eye on the character creation aspect of it, because they are like, are they going to add some of the more unique races, or are they keeping to the core rulebook stuff?
Probably core rulebook, I'd imagine. It just makes sense.
Yeah, so at the very least, I think the most like different humanoid-esque race they're gonna add is probably Dragonborn, because I think that's in the core rulebook.
Yeah, it usually is now.
So I'm gonna probably keep that in mind. But they do also have the variations for these different races in mind. Like they have half Drow, Old Dwarf, Wood Elf, Wood Half Elf, Shield Dwarf, Strongheart Halfling, those things.
All
So
right.
they've definitely added some variety there.
Holy shit, I'm glad I went back and did that. 2 more golden hands, dude.
Nice. And the classes they have right now are the typical Cleric, Fighter, Ranger, Rogue, Warlock, Wizard, but they added Druid, Sorcerer, Barbarian, and Bard. So I don't know what else they would plan on adding in future updates, but that's what they've currently got at this time.
Yeah.
But it was really funny to see all of the people playing, like,
Damn it.
just released early access Baldur's Gate 3 to see all the glitches. It was really funny. Because, like, you'd see non-completed animations or voice lines. You'd see hilarious sequences where glitches happen with animations that play out in a weird sequence. Like, I saw this one bit from a streamer where they reach this camp that has a bunch of tieflings and other races in there, and there's this human that's kind of causing a fuss.
Just what I wanted.
Nice.
Hell yeah, we got growth 3 on him now, so when I actually turn him into another unit, growth 3. Hooray.
Nice. Sounds like you're just getting a lot of good luck with this.
Dude, yeah, this is a good run right now. Go ahead and heal up.
So what I was saying was, in this scenario, you reach this thing, and you reach a stronghold, and you beat a bunch of goblins up, and you let this human inside this tiefling settlement.
Damn.
And the human's like, damn it, you tieflings, you're always giving us a hard time and all this, and blah, 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 blah. And you have the option to break up the fight or punch out the human, among some other options. This streamer I watched went for punching out the human because he was being an asshole.
Okay.
And you roll a strength check to knock him out,
All
and
right.
the streamer managed to hit the check, and their character punch the air next to the human, and then the human just falls over. It was really, really funny.
I bet.
So seeing games essentially be a little hilarious on release like that is always a good time. I mean, it's part of the appeal of why Cyberpunk was so hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Although I hear that game's also in a lot more of a playable state.
Let's see. I'll get rid of Phoenix, or yeah, I might need Yaxini still. Yeah. Get rid of Phoenix.
You're still keeping Izanagi?
Yeah, I like to keep my starter through the entire game.
Okay.
Plus, once I get better skill cards, of course, I can make Izanagi better. And since I used him through the first 3 dungeons, he got all of, like, the upgrade cards. So he's already better than, like, a base Izanagi, even though Izanagi is pretty weak.
Yeah.
But I also feel like you don't need Izanagi to make the final fusion after getting the true ending, but I feel like you should, because it's essentially just true Izanagi, where right now you have lesser Izanagi.
Yeah.
So I just kind of replace him at the end, I think.
Okay.
Until then, yeah, I have Izanagi.
Yeah, I'm just of the mind, like,
Holy.
he no good at this time, me trade and or fuse.
Yeah, I just feel like since that's like the protagonist's true persona, I try to keep it.
Yeah, I know for certain in 5 you're pretty much required to fuse your starter persona with the fusion tutorial.
Really?
I mean, as far as I know, that's I haven't seen anything else in that regard.
Damn
like
it.
some people do an all Arsene run, but
Yeah, like you
That's-
can do it.
yeah, it's just heavily encouraged, like, because you even have a cutscene with Arsene when you fuse him, and he's like, I know that even though you fused me to make literally an imp in a jar, I will always be at your back. That kind of situation.
Interesting.
Although I think there is a higher fusion of Arsene that you can get. I just never experienced it because I'm too scared to go back. Well, not scared. I don't want to go back to Royal for the reason of, like, one of the bosses was absolute ass.
Yeah.
Like, I've talked about this before, but I will reiterate. If you're going to play Persona 5 Royal, which is the version that is going to be out on all the other platforms, be prepared that one of the later game bosses / dungeons is an absolute fucking tank dive in quality in regards to its fairness.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, that boss really pissed me off so much. It was so bad. It was like, it threw so many things that just...
Fucking Teddy. Am I
for those
about to
that don't
climb the
know-
stairway to adulthood?
Yeah.
You poor boy.
Climbing Stairway to Adulthood sounds like it'd be a lewd cover of Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin.
Oh god, that would actually be a good song, probably.
I actually want to hear that.
Yeah, me too. And he's climbing the stairway to adulthood.
Yeah. Dude, that
Oh,
could
you
probably-
motherfucker! Damn it!
Go, 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 go!
It's a straight shot. He might get away. Come on. Come on. Damn it! Come here, you. Gotcha!
Got him. Good.
Oh
Nice.
my god.
That was scary.
Beat the stuffing out of it.
Just rampage. Like,
But
I can
yeah,
heal.
for those that don't know, it's the Okumura fight. Or for those that do know, I'm talking about the Okumura fight. It's just, you have a time limit. You have infinitely respawning enemies. You have enemies that explode that don't count as a death by you, and it's like... oh man. It took me like 3-ish tries for me to beat that fight. It was so bad.
Yeah.
Like I would straight up say, like, use the DLC personas to make that fight way easier on yourself so you don't have to deal with that horse shit. So bad.
Miosuke.
Ugh. Like it left such a sour taste in my mouth that I don't really want to do a continuation of that, but or do a second
Let's see
playthrough.
what Black Spot is. don't think I need Black Spot. Deals medium physical damage to one foe. Deals light physical damage to all foes. Increases crit rate. Deals light physical damage with a chance of panic.
I think get rid of Skullcracker for that.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I don't know how often you get that panic, but you're landing the rage with GA's normal
with just
attacks more than your...
Yeah.
Plus, doesn't panic make an enemy more skittish to even be around the fight?
Yeah, it makes them run, so that's probably not something I really want.
Especially if you're golden hand hunting.
Yeah. Cool, so now I have a attack for every slot on Big Boy. Ah.
Yep.
Yep. Kanji, there we go. Oh, no,
Yeah,
we're just
there you
running
go.
past
Like,
you.
like forgetting the name.
I'm having a brain fart there.
Yeah, that I get that. I remember having brain farts of like forgetting simple words or even forgetting the spelling of certain words.
Yeah.
Even
That
though
happens.
my parents are English majors and I claim that I got at least something from that. Sometimes you just straight up have moments where your head just goes,
Ooh, okay, we got a new armor I think Chie can wear. Let me see. Oops, not the punk shoes. Steel Pannier. Yes, Armada Bustier. Cool.
like I remember when my mom was helping me with homework once and she forgot to spell the word relief. And she asked my dad and my dad said ROLLAID Rolade. Which is a reference to a really old advertisement for some kind of medication.
Yeah.
And apparently he had been waiting 20 years to make that joke. It's just, I don't know. Sometimes the brain just picks and chooses sometimes, man.
I'm just gonna see if I can escape. I'll go ahead and use Miragi.
I wonder if Smash Ultimate can end up getting modded for Joker to be replaced with you.
Possibly.
Because Smash mods are going through a lot more since people are getting creative about that.
mean-
Like, people are replacing Shulk with the protagonist of Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
You know, I really want to play all the Xenoblade games.
I do too. I hear they're really good. It's just the combat looks so... The combat to me just looks kind of puzzling to me.
Yeah, it's kind of like a timer MMO system, but for a console game.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'll give it I think I might give it a go sometime. It's just...
Yeah.
I mean, all the games are available for Switch. so
Yeah, I
that's a
have my
plus.
modded Wii, so I can start it off right. Because I actually really prefer the Wii's art style to the anime art style that the series took.
Well, I mean, there's many a reason why that art style ended up catching.
Yeah.
For Xenoblade Chronicles 2 in particular, I can point to many reasons.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go. I
Alright,
think I
mini
got
boss
enough
time.
SP. Yeah.
Oh wait, is this... Unless this is the
God,
whirlwind
I would
mentioned earlier.
like. I'm just saying, man. I'm probably past the age to like deal with that. But like, if you ever had a chick with that look in her eyes, say that. Run.
Yeah,
God.
I
It's
don't
freaking
know.
creepy.
I wouldn't
like,
know.
oh God, no.
I wouldn't know. I'm very... I've... Yeah.
Ugh. Fucking creeps me out.
Yeah, there are some anime faces that I've seen that really creep me out as well in regards to like, oh God.
Yeah, it's like you see that. Nope. See what you're weak against.
Yeah, I thought it was fire. I was like, it's either fire or ice. It's one of the two.
Nice.
You'd think it'd be ice considering it's a snake, but
It's a lust snake. It's already like, I don't know. Who knows? See how good Black Spot hits.
watch it miss.
Only 70, dang. Poison kind of sucks, but yeah, we'll go ahead and have him. Let's see. points, nullify stat penalties.
Don't you have an Amarita? Okay, you have an Amarita soda, but not a shower.
Yeah.
Use the soda on Chie since her health is like below half.
Fear, rage, silence, poison. Dang, I only have one for that. Yeah, but we're gonna use it on Chie.
Yeah, use it on Chie.
She's a glass tank. I mean, glass cannon, but we love her.
Yeah. She's our barbecue-loving glass cannon.
Yeah. I do think for this run, since like I wasn't able to get the mod with Yosuke working, I'm gonna go ahead and probably use her romance route.
Yeah, I don't know how mod work do, so I'm
The issue is like you had to use a third-party program to get it in.
Ah.
So it's just it's not very user-friendly, and my game just didn't recognize it after I put all the programs on. So I was like, yeah.
I think there's a skill Kanji can get at some point that actually does a shit ton of damage to an enemy while they're on the ground like that.
Yeah, and then that takes precedent over doing the rush.
Yeah.
Though, from what I hear, like once you unlock Arise, if you take her on all the bike rides and you do the rush, she essentially uses a bombardment laser, and I don't think you can beat that.
Ah. Good to know.
Yeah. Like, I've been trying to read up a little bit on what I want to do.
Yeah.
Let's see, let me use that.
You can go a lot of different ways in the gameplays of these Persona games,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is definitely one of the big draws of it, is that you can pretty much make your characters be able to do a whole lot if you invest enough into them.
Oh, yeah.
God, I wonder what Persona 6 is going to be like.
I mean, I think we're all kind of excited for that.
And I mean, I think we've discussed this before about the idea of Persona 6 taking place in college, because like, I don't think they're going to get rid of the high school angle, because that's just what they prefer in Japan.
Yeah.
But 5 brought to light a lot of things that are a bit uncomfortable when you put it into the perspective that you're playing as a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
Like being able to date adults and
Yeah, let's not have the P3 moment where we're dating a freaking middle schooler.
Yeah. Like, it's just a lot. It's just, and on top of that, the college angle would be really unique, because I can't even think of many anime that take place in college. I can think of like 2 off the top of my 3. No. Yeah, 3. This older 2000s manga called Ayori Aoshi.
Freaking Teddy.
You gonna use a Gohoem?
I don't know. We could probably
this-
call it here and then start the
I think
next
this is a good-
episode with the boss fight.
I'm thinking this is a good place to end it.
All right, let's at least
Like,
explore, grab the
yeah, use
chests,
a-
go to the
grab the
next
chests.
floor, and then I'll use a go-home.
Yeah. So, as I was saying, there's Ayori Aoshi, which is a manga I read a long time ago that had an anime. There's Grand Blue, I think it's called, which is a manga about a scuba diving club.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It was really funny manga, and or it is a really funny manga. It's still serializing.
Yeah.
Then there's one called Golden Period, I think. No, Golden Time, and it's funny enough, that one's actually made by the same person that made Toradora. Very beloved romance series, and
Yeah.
Golden Time, from what I remember and from what I've heard from others, is pretty good.
Cool.
So it's like, I don't know, more of this college stuff would be really cool, and if seeing a Persona game take place in college would be really fun. Like, I just want one day for the Velvet Room to be a bar, and I want the Velvet Room attendant to make me cocktails as the way of making Personas.
That would be pretty neato.
Like, how cool would it be if, like, you pick your ingredients to fuse, and then the Velvet Room attendant puts them in a cocktail shaker, and then shakes them up, and then takes a martini glass, pours it out, and then you see the apparition of the Persona appear from the drink.
Or I would like it like if you drank it and then like you did the P3 thing and it just like explodes out of you.
And then the false then like the false persona fusion thing could be like, I don't know, they make it, they spill the drink on accident or something,
Yeah.
and like the persona appears in the puddle. I don't know. I just think it'd be cool to have the Velvet Room be a bar, because there's already a bar in the limo in this game.
Whoa. Okay.
Ow.
1 second. We're gonna not keep that up. I just thought
Ow.
I'd be able to rush through. Nope. Don't let the
No,
tank
not
run
the-
over you.
Nope. Who'd have thunk a tank hitting somebody would actually really hurt?
Who knew? I don't want to replace one of my personas with Titania. Okay.
But you have to
I
anyway.
have to, but at least I get the sweet bonus this way.
Yeah. And you do also gain a persona you could that
I'm
adds
just
to your
gonna
compendium.
drop her. Curse you, Titania.
How do you get to the next floor from here? Because I didn't see a
It's back at
staircase.
the entrance.
Ah, gotcha.
So let me just. Actually, I'll just.
Heal Chie.
Yeah, let me just do diorama because I'm getting out of here pretty quick. So
Yeah.
yeah, don't let the tank run over you. Got it. Let it cast spells.
Yeah.
Let it cast
yeah.
spells. So actually, encourage Chie not to kick it
Yeah.
because she kicks it, you're gonna have a bad time. Okay.
Yeah, those rage shoes are good for at the very least the rush job situation, but maybe not against the enemies that can one-shot you.
Yeah, I'm going to just see what's on this end real quick. Make sure we got everything before
Nothing.
I open that final door.
Yeah, something that I definitely say for like with 5 compared to the others is that the dungeons at the very least have a lot more unique flair to them since they're set dungeons instead of just, randomly generated stuff like this. Because though the changes aesthetically are nice, the dungeons in this in terms of layout are really plain.
Yeah.
So 5 having a more unique setup with gimmicks and everything in the dungeons is pretty good. I like that. I think those babies are weak to fire.
Yeah, well, I don't have my U guy yet. So.
Oh, it
we'll
doesn't
choose
matter.
everyone else. Yeah, level 38 and like a level 29 dungeon.
Yeah. Yeah, that usually doesn't. Yeah.
And I hate these cards because you actually lose the upgrades you get when you fuse in this game. Like, they're helpful, but dang it.
Yeah.
I wish I could do something else with it, Alright, should be able to go through here now. Get to the next floor. Sweet.
Yeah, a lot of people in Persona 6 also wonder what the primary coloration for it is going to be, because with 3, 4, and 5 you have the coloration stuff being prominent, like in Persona 4 it's yellow, in 3 it's blue, and 5 it's red. What about 6? Is it going to be green, purple? It's going to damn it, I just would like to know what's going on, because they've got to make a 6th game. Persona 5 sold like fucking hotcakes.
Oh, hell yeah. They're working on it.
It's just, I'm just curious on what they've got.
Oh, yay. I need that.
That's good. That's good. Even if it's 10%, it saves you money.
Alright, let me go ahead and check my compendium, do some registry.
So I don't know what the registry does. What does that do?
Okay, so when you go to compendium, it registers your exact persona to this compendium so that you can summon them back at another time if you need them for, say, a fusion or something.
Oh, okay, it registers them along with the skills they have.
Exactly.
For that specific-
So
okay.
when, like, right now I need to make a Neko Shogun with Bufula, which you only get that by fusing into a Nagi Mitama. Well, that Mitama you just saw has the skill for that, so if for some reason I fused him right now, I could go ahead and spend some of my money and get him back. to actually
Yeah.
make the Neko Shogun once I get the 4-way fusion.
Okay.
Because that's the next quest for Mary.
Okay.
So, like, I'm going to go through here real quick and see Gidan, Kusimitama. So, anything with Mitama on it, I'm not going to do because I need that. But, say, Pyro Jack. Yeah, he's a little lower than Gidan, but if I wanted to have Pyro Jack,
I like Pyro
I can
Jack.
do that. Yeah, because I got Rank 8. He'll probably be
I like-
pretty good, actually.
I like Pyro Jack.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see what I
he's
can
a-
do,
he's-
actually. I like Pyro Jack,
He's
too.
He's a fun little guy.
Yeah, so I want Maragi on, definitely. I want Growth 3. I
Fire
want
Boost.
Fire Boost.
And Evade Ice.
Evade
I would
Ice.
imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
rank
he'll
8
probably boost up to
corresponding.
like level 36, I'd say. That's
Yeah,
my
let's
guess.
see. Because, yeah, I want to keep building the Compendium, too, and I don't think I used any units I need to make Neko Shoguns, so... Plus, my Gidan has been pretty good to me.
Yeah. I want the Nendoroids of Pyro Jack and Jack Frost.
Oh, yeah, totally.
I think he's probably going to reach into 39.
Let's see.
Something. Because I think it was like 60,000 that you had that rank boost for. It's worth it to do the social links, people. It really is.
Yeah, so you got the 36, but I think my Gidan was only at like 36 or 37, so that works. The only thing I lose out on is the physical attack that Gidan had, the Rampage.
The other thing that I'd say 5 definitely did for a boost for me over the past games is that the social links do more than just boost the Arcana experience for your character. Like,
Yeah.
they do give a lot more of a gameplay incentive, which is really nice.
That is pretty nice, and honestly, I kind of am glad they've stuck with the 4 style social links, because what I do like about 3 being its, design, like what it's trying to tell story-wise, if you don't keep up your social links, they drop in rank.
I don't think that happens in 5.
No, it doesn't in 4 or 5. But I would actually laugh my ass off, like if in college there's 2 or 3 social links where if you don't hang out with them once a week, you just lose a level.
Well, I mean, that
would be
happens in real
hilarious.
life. That happens in real life. You
Yeah,
know,
no,
you don't
like-
keep up with some of the people. They just kind of drop off the face of the earth with you.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
So yeah, if they go the college direction, I feel like there should, at least like the bartender or something, like the Velvet Room ones, if you aren't going in there and using them, they're just like, fuck you.
Yeah.
That'd be
You didn't pay your
freaking
tab,
awesome.
asshole.
Yeah, you didn't pay your tab. Like, put a tab system in. That'd be pretty funny.
Oh, that would be... Oh, that... Oh my god, that actually be really
Like, if you went
cool.
negative with fusing a persona, it's like, you can do this, but it's going to cost you like 10% on the next
Yeah.
persona or something.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty fun change. Alright.
All right.
Well, I think we're good. We'll fight Rise and Teddy in the next vid, and yeah, see y'all later.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Open Couch Gaming for more video game antics.